Hello student, today we will discuss the unit number 1, part A, that is the atomic structure. Now the word, how the word atom is derived. The word atomic means divisible, that can be divided. For example, CH4, we can divide it into carbon and hydrogen. So CH4 is atomic, that is a divisible one. But atomic means divisible, atomic means undivisible, means which cannot be divided further. Suppose hydrogen, carbon, these are the smallest one, they cannot be divided further. So atoms are the smallest particle that cannot be divided further. Structure of atom we have to study. In periodic table, near about 118 elements are there. That is carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, sodium, lithium. All the atoms have the identical structure. Only they will differ in number of proton, neutron and electrons. Now we will see the structure of an atom. In structure of atom, there is a centrally located part that is called as the nucleus. Nucleus contains positively charged proton and neutral neutrons. Protons are positively charged, hence nucleus will be a positively charged body. Around the nucleus, there are different energy levels. We are calling them as an energy level because it has different energy. Closer to the nucleus, energy is less. As we go away from nucleus, energy increases. In this different energy level, negative electron will revolve around the nucleus. Electron revolves around the nucleus. These are the energy levels, or they are called as the shapes. We have to give the name to the shape, like K, L, M, N. That is the first shape, second shape, third shape. We start the numbering with the K, not A, B, C, D, because the kern, the word kern means inner. We have to give the name to the inner shape. Inner shape को नाम देना था. The inner means kern, so we start from the K. So K, L, M, N, these are the shape, or they are called as the energy levels in which negative electron revolves. Central part is the positive due to proton, and the outer part is the negative due to electron. The whole atom is the neutral one because number of positive and number of negative, they are identical. Mutually they will compensate each other and atom will be considered to be the neutral one. Around the nucleus, different energy levels are there. The electron closer to the nucleus, it has a lesser energy. It has a lesser distance. Tight will be the ending, stable will be the electron with the lesser energy. While the electron present away from the nucleus, it will have the higher energy. It will be somewhat reactive and that will be somewhat unstable one. Now, mass of one proton. This electron will revolve around the nucleus. Electron will not change its position. Electron will not go inward. Electron will not go outward. Electron has its particular orbit and in the same orbit it will revolve. Why electron cannot go towards nucleus and away from the nucleus? Because electron is in the influence of two forces. First force is the positive nucleus attract the negative electron. This attraction is called as the nuclear attraction. The attraction toward the center. The force acting toward the center, that is called as the centripetal force. That is nothing but the nuclear attraction. That will try to attract the electron inward. But electron doesn't go inward because electron is a revolving body. Any revolving body has a normal tendency to go away from nucleus. The force which is acting away from nucleus, that is called as the centrifugal force. So two forces are acting in opposite direction. One is the centripetal, another is the centrifugal. These forces are equal in magnitude. They are opposite in direction. So mutually they will compensate each other. So electron will not move, not towards inward, not towards outward. It will revolve around the nucleus in the same orbit. Now, mass of one proton is approximately 1.0078 AMU. Mass of one neutron is approximately 1.0086 AMU. Mass of one electron is 0.00055 AMU. That is atomic mass unit. Electron have negligible mass compared to the proton and neutron. The whole mass of atom is due to the mass of proton and neutron because they have sufficient masses. Electron contribute negligibly in the mass of atom because it has negligible mass. The whole mass of atom is concentrated in the nucleus. एटम का पूरा वजन न्यूक्लियस की वजह से होगा क्योंकि वजन देने वाले प्रोटॉन और न्यूट्रॉन न्यूक्लियस के अंदर रहते हैं. सो न्यूक्लियस इज अ कॉम्पैक्ट स्मॉल बॉडी. इट इज द हेवी वन and the whole mass is concentrated around the nucleus. And around the nucleus, different energy levels are there where electrons are revolving. In this shape, that is the KLMN, subshells are there like S, P, SPD, SPDF. These are the subshells. In K shape, there is only one subshell, that is S. These are the subshell present in that shape. In that subshell there are orbitals. S subshell have S orbital. P subshell have Px, Py, Pz orbital. In that orbital, negative electrons are revolving. So in shell there are subshell. In subshell there are orbital. In orbital there are electrons which are revolving either in clockwise or anti-clockwise manner around its shape. Now we have to discuss regarding the mass of atom. Regarding the mass of atom. Now, suppose for example nitrogen. All the elements in the periodic table have the same structure. Whether it is carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur, anyone, this identical structure they will have. Only they will differ in number of proton, neutron and electron. But the same basic structure all of them will have. Suppose we have an example of nitrogen having atomic number 7 and mass number 40. यहाँ जो लिखा होगा that is the atomic number. Atomic number means it is the number given to the atom, and that number indicates the number of protons. Here atomic number is 7, means nitrogen have 7 protons. As it is the neutral without charge, same number of electron it will have. उसके पास 7 प्रोटॉन है तो 7 इलेक्ट्रॉन रहेंगे. एटॉमिक नंबर प्रोटॉन और इलेक्ट्रॉन के बारे में बताता है. एक्चुअली इट गिव्स द इंफॉर्मेशन अबाउट द प्रोटॉन. यहां जो लिखा है इट इज द मास नंबर. मास नंबर इट इज द एडिशन ऑफ प्रोटॉन प्लस न्यूट्रॉन. ये प्रोटॉन और न्यूट्रॉनों की एडिशन है जो नाइट्रोजन के पास है. प्रोटॉन और न्यूट्रॉन एटम को वजन देते हैं क्योंकि इलेक्ट्रॉन के पास वजन नहीं है, निग्लिजिबल मास है. सो वजन देने वाले लोगों की एडिशन यहां लिखी है. सो प्रोटॉन और न्यूट्रॉनों की ये एडिशन है, वही एटम को वजन देते हैं. सो इट इज कॉल्ड एज द मास नंबर बिकॉज इट इज द एडिशन ऑफ प्रोटॉन एंड न्यूट्रॉन एंड दे विल गिव द मास टू द एटम. We will explain regarding the stability of the nucleus. Nucleus is a small body and it is a stable one. How nucleus is stable? Positive protons are coming close to each other. Positive, they should repel each other, and protons should go away from each other. Nucleus should break. न्यूक्लियस टूटना चाहिए, प्रोटॉनों ने एक दूसरे को रिपेल करना चाहिए क्योंकि लाइक चार्जेस रिपेल्स. लेकिन न्यूक्लियस स्टेबल है, इसका मतलब प्रोटॉन एक दूसरे को रिपेल नहीं करते. अब ये न्यूक्लियस की स्टेबिलिटी किस वजह से है? युकावा नाम के साइंटिस्ट ने पाई मेसॉन पार्टिकल के बारे में बताया. अकॉर्डिंग टू युकावा, प्रोटॉन न्यूट्रॉनों के अलावा न्यूक्लियस में पाई मेसॉन पार्टिकल भी रहेंगे. पाई मेसॉन पार्टिकल, these are the pi meson particles which are present in the nucleus along with proton and neutron. and these pi meson particles are negatively charged, positively charged and they are the neutral one. pi meson particle तीनों टाइप के रहेंगे, पॉजिटिव, नेगेटिव एंड द न्यूट्रल। जब दो प्रोटॉन एक दूसरे के नजदीक आएंगे, when two proton will come close to each other inside the nucleus, they may repel. दो पॉजिटिव एक दूसरे को रिपेल कर सकते हैं, लेकिन उनमें रिपल्शन होगा नहीं, क्योंकि एक पॉजिटिव प्रोटॉन के साथ नेगेटिव मेसॉन कंबाइन होगा। पॉजिटिव प्रोटॉन नेगेटिव मेसॉन, तो इसका कन्वर्शन न्यूट्रॉन में होगा। ये प्रोटॉन एज इट इज रहा, दूसरे प्रोटॉन का कन्वर्शन न्यूट्रॉन में हुआ, क्योंकि पॉजिटिव प्रोटॉन के साथ नेगेटिव मेसॉन पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव कंबाइन होकर न्यूट्रॉन बना। अब इन दोनों में रिपल्शन नहीं होगा, क्योंकि एक पॉजिटिव है और दूसरा न्यूट्रल है। सिमिलरली इससे प्रोटॉनों की संख्या कम हो जाएगी, because protons are getting converting into the neutron one, because pi meson particles are responsible for the conversion. ऐसे ही जब दो न्यूट्रॉन रहेंगे, तो दो न्यूट्रॉन में से एक न्यूट्रॉन के साथ पॉजिटिव pi meson रिएक्ट होगा। पॉजिटिव जब न्यूट्रल न्यूट्रॉन के साथ रिएक्ट होगा, तो इसका कन्वर्शन प्रोटॉन में होगा। तो न्यूट्रॉन का कन्वर्शन प्रोटॉन में हुआ, प्रोटॉन का कन्वर्शन न्यूट्रॉन में होगा। उनकी ओरिजिनल संख्या प्रोटॉन और न्यूट्रॉनों की मेंटेन रहेगी। So scientist Yukawa explained the reason for the stability of the nucleus. According to him, there are pi meson particles inside the nucleus. They are negative, positive and neutral. These pi meson particles are responsible that they will avoid the repulsion between two proton and two neutron by converting the proton into neutron and neutron into proton. This is the first reason for the stability of the nucleus. The reason is presence of pi meson particle. Second reason is the binding energy. Binding energy is there. Some energy is there that will bind up all proton and neutron, and that binding energy is responsible that this proton and neutron cannot go away from each other. Forcefully this energy will hold up all the nucleons together. अब ये binding energy आती कहां से है? Suppose for example हम नाइट्रोजन में, नाइट्रोजन के पास प्रोटॉन है 7, इलेक्ट्रॉन, नाइट्रोजन के पास इलेक्ट्रॉन 7 रहेंगे। न्यूट्रॉनों की संख्या, न्यूट्रॉन मास नंबर माइनस एटॉमिक नंबर, मास नंबर माइनस एटॉमिक नंबर, दैट इज द न्यूट्रॉन। सो नाइट्रोजन हैव 7 प्रोटॉन, 7 इलेक्ट्रॉन एंड 7 न्यूट्रॉन। एक प्रोटॉन का वजन है 1.0078, एक इलेक्ट्रॉन का वजन है 0.00055, एक न्यूट्रॉन का वजन है 0.0086। ये एक न्यूट्रॉन का वजन है, ये न्यूट्रॉनों की संख्या है। मल्टीप्लाई करोगे तो 7 पॉइंट समथिंग आएगा, दैट इज द वेट ऑफ ऑल न्यूट्रॉन। ये एक न्यूट्रॉन का वजन है, ये न्यूट्रॉनों की संख्या है जो नाइट्रोजन के पास है। जब हम मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे जो आंसर आएगा ये सभी न्यूट्रॉनों का वजन होगा। सिमिलरली यहाँ ये एक इलेक्ट्रॉन का वजन है मल्टीप्लाइड बाय नंबर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन, इससे जो आंसर आएगा 0 पॉइंट समथिंग, दैट इज द मास ऑफ ऑल इलेक्ट्रॉन। सिमिलरली ये एक प्रोटॉन का वजन है मल्टीप्लाइड बाय नंबर ऑफ प्रोटॉन, इससे जो आएगा 1 पॉइंट समथिंग, दैट विल बी द मास ऑफ ऑल प्रोटॉन। अब इन वजनों की एडिशन करेंगे सभी मासेस की, सभी प्रोटॉनों का वजन यहाँ 7 पॉइंट समथिंग आएगा, प्लस सभी इलेक्ट्रॉनों का वजन प्लस सभी न्यूट्रॉनों का वजन, ये 14 पॉइंट समथिंग आएगा। फॉर एग्जांपल कन्वीनियंस के लिए लिखता हूं 14.200। ये नाइट्रोजन का वजन कितना होना चाहिए, दैट इज द कैलकुलेटेड मास, दैट इज द थ्योरेटिकल, हमने पेज पे कैलकुलेशन किया है। नाइट्रोजन का वजन कितना हो, सभी प्रोटॉनों का वजन प्लस सभी न्यूट्रॉनों का वजन प्लस सभी इलेक्ट्रॉनों का वजन, इसके एडिशन जो आती है वही एटम का वजन होना चाहिए। सो नाइट्रोजन का वजन होना चाहिए था 14 पॉइंट समथिंग। दिस इज द थ्योरेटिकल मास, थ्योरेटिकल वेट ऑफ नाइट्रोजन। अब प्रैक्टिकली जब नाइट्रोजन का वजन लिया है बैलेंस पे, दैट इज द प्रैक्टिकल और एक्चुअल और एक्सपेरिमेंटल, जब नाइट्रोजन का वजन आया, फॉर एग्जांपल लिखता हूं 14.100 आया, वजन आना चाहिए था इसका थ्योरेटिकली 14.200, लेकिन प्रैक्टिकली आया 14.100। मतलब कितना वजन कम आ रहा है, 0.100 इतना वजन कम आ रहा है। ये वजन गया कहां, 0.100, ये वजन कम आया, ये मास कम आ रहा है, इस मास की एनर्जी बनी। मास की एनर्जी बनी है, दैट इज नथिंग बट द बाइंडिंग एनर्जी दैट विल रिस्पांसिबल टू बाइंड अप ऑल प्रोटॉन एंड न्यूट्रॉन्स टुगेदर। सो बाइंडिंग एनर्जी आएगी कहां से? वजन जितना होना चाहिए थियोरेटिकली, प्रैक्टिकली उतना रहता नहीं, वजन कम रहता है। ये वजन का जो गैप है, ये मास का जो डिफेक्ट है, दैट डिक्रीज इन मास is nothing but the conversion of mass into energy, that is the binding energy that will bind up all proton and neutrons together, and that will give the stability to the nucleus. Maximum atoms in the periodic table, they are stable because they have sufficient binding energy to hold up. But all the atoms in the periodic table, they are not stable. जैसे यूरेनियम हुआ, कुछ हुए, they are unstable because they does not have sufficient binding energy. जिन एटमों की बाइंडिंग एनर्जी सफिशिएंट नहीं, या जिन एटमों के पास प्रोटॉन और न्यूट्रॉन की संख्या ज्यादा है, तो एनर्जी इज नॉट सफिशिएंट टू हेल्ड अप लार्ज नंबर ऑफ प्रोटॉन एंड न्यूट्रॉन। इन सच केसेस जहां बाइंडिंग एनर्जी कम होगी, तब यहां का मटेरियल, न्यूक्लियस के अंदर का मटेरियल बाहर निकलेगा, न्यूक्लियर मटेरियल विल इमर्ज आउट because the energy was not sufficient to hold up. So the material inside the nucleus that will emerge in the form of radiation, that is called as the radioactivity. Our atom is showing the activity. It is emerging the radiation. These radiations are nothing but the alpha, beta, gamma radiation. Such atoms are radioactive. Which atoms are radioactive? Those whose binding energy is less, or they have more number of proton and neutron. In such cases, their material will emerge in the form of radiation, that is nothing but the radioactivity. This is the introduction regarding the structure of an atom. What we have seen, I will repeat in 2 minutes. This is the unit number 1, part A, atomic structure. The word atomic means a divisible, that we can divide, like CH4, we can divide into carbon and hydrogen. Atomic means divisible, atomic means undivisible. That cannot be divided further, so that should be the smallest one, like hydrogen, like carbon. The smallest one that cannot be divided further, they are called atom. 118 elements or atoms are present in the periodic table. All the atoms have the identical structure, only they differ in proton, neutron and electron. What structure they have? They have a centrally located nucleus which contain positive proton and neutral neutrons. Due to positive proton, nucleus is a positively charged body. Around the nucleus, there are energy levels. We are calling them as energy level because different energy is there. In this energy level, negative electrons are revolving. Central area is a positive, outer area is the negative, but the atom is the neutral because number of positive and number of negative, they are equal. Mutually, they will compensate each other. This electron is revolving in the same direction, in the same orbit. It will not move from its position, not inward, not outward, because it is controlled by two forces. One is the centripetal force, another is the centrifugal force. Both forces are acting in opposite direction, but they are equal in magnitude. Two forces will cancel, compensate each other. So electron will remain in its original position. In same orbit, it will revolve. We can give the name to the shell, KLMN. In this shell there are subshell. In the subshell there are orbital, and in that orbital electrons are there. They are revolving either in clockwise or in anti-clockwise manner. Mass of one proton is 1.0078 approximately. For a neutron 1.0086. For an electron 0.00055. Electron have negligible mass. The whole mass of atom is due to proton and neutron. The whole mass of atom is concentrated in the nucleus. Nucleus is a compact, heavy body. Now we will explain regarding the stability of the nucleus. Why nucleus is stable? Nucleus is a small body. It has a large number of positive proton. Like charges should repel, nucleus should undergo breaking. But nucleus is a stable one. The reason for the stability is given by the Yukawa, that there are pi-meson particles. They are responsible for the stability of the nucleus. They will avoid the repulsion between two protons by converting one of the proton into neutron. Another reason for the stability of the nucleus is the binding energy. That is the energy that will bind up all proton and neutrons together. ये binding energy आती कहां से है? Theoretical mass of atom and actual mass of atom is always different one. The difference between these two is nothing but the mass defect, and that mass get converted into the energy during the construction of an atom, and that energy will bind up all proton and neutrons together, and that will give the stability to the nucleus. All the atoms are not stable, their nucleus are not stable, because in some cases, if binding energy is less or number of proton and neutron is more, in such cases, the nuclear material will emerge out in the form of radiation, alpha, beta, gamma radiation. That is nothing but the nuclear radioactivity. Such nucleus are unstable. They are giving the reaction of the nucleus. That is the nuclear radioactivity. This is the introduction of structure of atom. Now in this chapter we have to study Heisenberg uncertainty principle, de Broglie's hypothesis for dual nature of electron. One by one we will complete. Now we will study the de Broglie's hypothesis for dual nature of electron. The scientist de Broglie proposed a research paper. According to him, the light or radiation, as they have a dual nature, because this is the light, this is the direction of propagation of light, but the light will not travel in a straight path, it will travel in the form of crest and trough. These are the photons, they will fluctuate and they will travel in the form of wave. So as the light or radiation have a dual nature, light we have to consider as a particle because it has photons. Light we have to consider as a wave because it has a wavelength. This electron, this radiation has a wavelength. Wavelength means the distance between two adjacent crests or trough, that is called as the wavelength. As it goes in the form of wave, so it will have a crest trough, so it has a wave. So light or radiation has a dual nature. It has a particle nature due to photon, as well as it has a wave nature because it has a wavelength. According to de Broglie, as light have a dual nature, our electron also have a dual nature. Electron revolves around the nucleus, but the electron will not revolve in a straight path. Electron will revolve in the form of wave, like this one. This is the wave nature of electron. Like radiation, electron also has a dual nature. We have to consider electron as a particle. Why? We have to consider electron as a particle because electron has mass. इलेक्ट्रॉन को मास है, इलेक्ट्रॉन कोई चीज है, इसलिए हम उसे पार्टिकल कहेंगे. इलेक्ट्रॉन इज ऑल्सो कंसिडर्ड एज अ वेव because electron has a wavelength. This electron is traveling in the form of crest trough. ये वेव के फॉर्म में जा रहा है, तो एडजेसेंट क्रेस्ट का डिस्टेंस मतलब होगा वेवलेंथ. इलेक्ट्रॉन वेव के फॉर्म में जाता है. इलेक्ट्रॉन हैज अ वेवलेंथ, so it has a wave nature. So electron has a dual nature. Consider the electron as a particle as well as consider the electron as a wave. If we consider electron as a particle, then we can calculate the energy of the electron by the formula E is equal to mc square. M is the mass of the particle, mass of the electron. This is the formula to calculate the energy of the electron if we consider it the particle. If we consider the electron as a wave, then this is the formula to calculate its energy, that is E is equal to hv. These are the two different formulas to calculate the energy of the electron. Electron is the same one. So whether calculate by this formula or calculate by this one, energy will be the same one. So we can write from this formula mc square is equal to hv. Mu means c upon lambda. एक एक c कैंसिल होगा. अब बचेगा m into c is equal to h upon lambda. m into c is equal to h upon lambda. Lambda यहाँ लिखेंगे, m into c यहाँ. After reshuffling, we will get this equation. This is nothing but the de Broglie's equation. Mass into velocity, that is nothing but the momentum. हम इसे ऐसे भी लिख सकते हैं. Mass into velocity, that is the momentum. Lambda is equal to h upon p. P is the momentum. So this is the de Broglie's equation. This is the de Broglie's equation. De Broglie's equation क्या बताता है? Mass and wavelength, they are inverse proportional to each other. As the mass of particle increases, the tendency to have the wavelength will decrease. इसका मतलब small particle, that is the macroscopic particle. Small microscopic particle, that is proton, neutron, electron, atom, molecule, they are too small. If this proton, electron has to migrate, they cannot migrate in a straight path. They are lightweighted, they are too small. During the migration, it will fluctuate and it will migrate in the form of wave. So इलेक्ट्रॉन इज माइक्रोस्कोपिक पार्टिकल, इलेक्ट्रॉन का मास कम है इसलिए उसे वेव नेचर है. अगर किसी पार्टिकल का मास बढ़ता है तो उसकी वेव के फॉर्म में जाने की टेंडेंसी कम होगी. एज मास इंक्रीजेस द टेंडेंसी टू हैव अ वेव नेचर डिक्रीजेस. मास एंड वेवलेंथ दे आर इनवर्स प्रोपोर्शनल टू ईच अदर. So according to de Broglie's hypothesis, the de Broglie contribute regarding the structure of an atom. What contribution he give? That electron doesn't revolve in a straight path. According to him, electron will travel in the zigzag manner in the form of wave. Like radiation, our electron also have a dual nature. We have to consider electron as a particle because it have mass. Sometimes we have to consider electron as a wave because it has wavelength. We can calculate the energy of an electron by considering it as a particle as well as wave. As an electron is the same energy will be the identical by comparing these two formula, mc square is equal to h mu. Instead of mu we can write c upon lambda. 1 c will get cancelled. The m into c is equal to h upon lambda. After reshuffling we will get lambda is equal to h upon m into c. M into c is nothing but the momentum. These two are the de Broglie's equation. The equation states that mass and wavelength they are inverse proportional to each other. As mass of particle increases, the tendency to have a wavelength decreases or vice versa. Means microscopic particle, proton, neutron, electron, they have a wave nature because they are small, they are lightweighted, they will fluctuate, they will have a wave nature. If mass of a particle increases, tendency to have a wavelength decreases. This is the de Broglie's hypothesis regarding the dual nature of electron.